Can you fix this? All right, good morning. It's the 11th day of May, 2026. It is 9 a.m. We are in the Commissioner's Courtroom in the Aransas County Courthouse located at 308 North Live Oak, Rockport, Texas 78382. And I called this regular meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the evocation.
Father God, Lord, we're always thankful for the blessings of a new day and just being able to stand on the top side of the grass and to live another day. And Lord, we thank you for the rain that we had last night. We desperately need rain in this county, and I think the grass is smiling. And Lord, we look to you to be our strength. Sometimes the world seems like it's falling apart around us, and we need you to guide us, our thoughts, our actions, our decisions, and just our lives, because it seems like that our whole society is decaying, but yet you've promised us that you would walk with us and walk beside us and to lift us up when we stumble. And that's the hope we have today by believing in you and trusting in your word. And so we just pray that this meeting today, that you'll shower this meeting with your wisdom and your guidance, and speak to the hearts of the judge and these commissioners, that they will consider every item carefully and to filter those items through your will so that they might benefit all the citizens of this county. And Lord, we just give you the glory for what's going to be accomplished today by your works. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney?
Here.
Commissioner Casterline?
Here.
Commissioner Russo?
Here.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Here.
Judge Garza?
Here. We've got a full court. At this time, we'll hear from citizens to be heard.
I
And
have
we've
not
got-
been given any.
You haven't get, is Kathy here? I've got a request from Kathy Kane. But it does say date of meeting, April 27th, so maybe this was from last time.
Oh, maybe.
Oh. All right. Anybody online? All right. So, we've got Madam Treasurer's been double booked today. So her items, I'm gonna hear first. We're gonna hear first, which start at
15.
15. Thank you. We're gonna hear 15 through 27 first.
Okay.
They're gonna go fast. They're gonna go fast.
Move to approve accepting the letter of retirement from County Treasurer Alma Cartwright effective May 22nd, 2026, and authorize County Judge to send an official letter of appreciation for her years of service to Aransas County.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion, and a second. Alma, you wanna come up and speak on this?
Good morning. Morning.
So we've got your letter of resignation effective.
Retirement.
Retirement, sorry.
Well, I did change it to resignation.
Oh.
I was told that it should say resignation also, so.
Yeah, effective the 22nd day of May. You want some words? If not,
We appreciate you, girl.
Yep.
For a long time.
I appreciate the opportunity for being allowed to do what I did. Truly lived it.
Commissioner
thank you.
Cheney?
You've done an excellent job.
Sorry.
Aye.
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 Are you calling our names?
I think you, do you have something to say?
no.
Okay. Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The letter is in our packet, so I'm gonna read the letter if it's okay with you. The Honorable Alma Cartwright, County Treasurer. On behalf of Aransas County Commissioners Court, it is my distinct honor and privilege to express our deepest appreciation for your nearly 15 years of exemplary service as County Treasurer of Aransas County. As you prepare to retire from public service on May 22nd, 2026, we wish to formally recognize the extraordinary dedication, professionalism, and integrity with which you have served the citizens of Aransas County and this court. You first joined the County Treasurer's Office in 2009 and assumed the office of the County Treasurer on August 1st, 2011, a position of sacred public trust that you have held with distinction for nearly 15 years. In that time, you have served as the faithful custodian of the county's finances, safeguarding millions of dollars in public funds through periods of economic challenge and growth alike. Your steady hand has guided the county's financial operations through Hurricane Harvey, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the many demands that come with serving a growing coastal community. Your contributions to Aransas County extend far beyond the statutory duties of the office. As County Treasurer, you have faithfully discharged your responsibilities as the county's banker and investment officer, ensuring the prudent management of public funds. You have administered the county's biweekly payroll with precision and care, ensuring that every county employee, from road crews to courtroom staff, received their compensation accurately and on time. I appreciate that. Your administration
So do
of
they.
the county's indigent health care program has provided a vital safety net for our most vulnerable residents. You have overseen the collection and administration of the hotel occupancy and venue taxes, the management of the unclaimed funds, and countless other responsibilities that, while often unseen by the public, are essential to the daily operations of county government. Throughout your tenure, you have exemplified the qualities that define the finest traditions of Texas county government: honesty, transparency, fiscal responsibility, and unwavering dedication to the public trust. You have maintained the highest standards of financial stewardship, earning the confidence of this court, your fellow elected officials, county employees, and the citizens of Aransas County. Your willingness to hire and personally train your successor in advance of your retirement reflects the same selfless commitment to public service that has characterized your entire career, ensuring that the office you have built will continue to serve the people of Aransas County with the same standard of excellence that you established. The Aransas County Commissioners Court, on behalf of the citizens of Aransas County, extends its sincere and heartfelt gratitude for your years of faithful service. You leave behind a legacy of financial integrity and operational excellence that will benefit this county for years to come. We wish you every happiness and blessings in your well-deserved retirement. Your dedication to Aransas County will not be forgotten. With deepest respect and appreciation, the court.
Thank you.
We took the vote.
How long have you been here? How long have you been clerk?
20 years with the county.
What's that? Oh, a photo. Oh, yeah.
I don't like pictures.
Poor pilot's here.
No.
Okay, all right.
I'd also like to add that Alma's the one who hired me to work for the county a long time ago. Thank you, Alma.
Good news.
Perfect. All right, so 15
Move to approve.
passed.
Oh.
So number 16, thank you.
Move to approve the appointment of Jamie Murphy for the office of County Treasurer to fill the vacancy in the office of County Treasurer created by the retirement of Alma Cartwright, effective May 22, 2026.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second.
And Jamie's here. You want to introduce her?
Yep, where's she at?
Right there.
Oh, there she is. Come on up, Jamie.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Jamie.
Morning.
Just a few words so Jamie won the Republican primary for the office of County Treasurer. There's no challenger in November, so she will take office January 1st, and we thought it'd be great that we appoint her as County Treasurer, and she's had about a month to work under Alma, so everything's gonna be great.
Yes. Yes, I have some big shoes to fill, but Alma has been
Congratulations.
a great help and a great leader. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And so on the 22nd, when Alma is officially retired, I'll go and swear you in. We'll do something.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 17.
I move to approve resolution R, 092026, a resolution approving the Aransas County investment policy, no changes to the policy.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second.
So we have to renew this every year anyway, and it was right at the right time to renew it. And so as you'll see in the resolutions to follow, we will be taking me off as investment officer, putting Jamie and Tana on as investment officers. And other than that, there's no other changes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 18.
Move to approve Resolution R-10-2026, a resolution appointing Jamie Murphy, County Treasurer-elect, and Tana Taylor, Assistant Auditor, as investment officers to invest Aransas County funds in accordance with the foregoing investment policy.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
I will say that Tana Taylor has taken the investment class,
Yeah.
and she was an investment officer. And Jamie will take the investment academy when it comes around, I believe in, is it February? Next February. But she will get plenty of training when she goes to the Treasurers Conference on all of the ins and outs of the investment, so.
When's that
Everything will be fine.
conference, do you know?
We have conferences, and the next one will be in September.
Okay,
And then in February, she'll get on the Investment Academy class, which is, makes you a CIO, a Certified Investment Officer. So she will take it then.
okay, good.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 19.
I move to approve resolution number R-11-2026, a resolution acknowledging the brokers dealers list as being authorized to provide services as required to Aransas County. No changes.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
And this is just something we do every year, is it not?
Yes, it's the people that we can approve to do business with.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 20.
I move to approve resolution R-12. Sure.
Oh,
There.
sorry about that. I thought I pressed that. Where was I? I move to approve Resolution R-12-2026, a resolution authorizing county judge to sign authorized representative ad form for Lone Star Investment Pool, adding Jamie Murphy and Tana Taylor.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
So they do need resolutions to make changes, even for changes of address. And so this one and the next four will be all of the 5 investment pools that we deal with. I'm going to make all of those effective as of today so that I can spend the next week getting Jamie and Tana logins and access to the funds. We probably will not have any transactions going on until the interest post. So I do want to make that effective as of today.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo? Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion
So
passes.
you can legally do that before she's sworn in?
Yes, y'all just made her investment officer, so
Okay.
she can.
Item number 21.
Move to approve Resolution R-13-2026, a resolution authorizing the addition of Jamie Murphy and Tana Taylor as authorized individuals and removing Alma Cartwright on the Texas Fixed Income Trust Pool.
Second.
Got a motion and a second?
I have one question on that. Because that's actually an action of removal, do we need to have a date on there as effective as of,
The resolution does have an effective date. Like I said, all the investment pools are supposed to be effective today, May 11th.
okay, but is that on the documents themselves? I mean,
Yes.
okay.
And to go along with your question, whether I'm off or on these, the county treasurer is usually one of your investment officers, but in some counties, they are not. The county judge sometimes, and different people in the organization are. So there's no issue with me not being on there and putting her on there.
Okay.
I had a question on it. Underneath each person's name, and maybe these will be added later, but it says permissions, must check one. Authorized trader to move funds or view only access. But under each of them, there isn't a check.
Okay, so I probably will have to review that. And so both of them will have full access, the transactions and the viewing.
Okay.
And then they will be allowed to add another person in their office to do the view only, but for full access would be Tana and
So-
Jamie.
So you're doing this before your last day, so they're already on and everything, so you have a smooth
Right,
transition?
as soon as I get this
Okay.
documents that are approved, these resolutions approved today, I will get those to the pools, make the transactions, and make
Okay.
sure they know how to navigate it, make transactions and all of that.
Yeah,
But you'll put in.
Yes, I will. I thought I had done that, but who knows?
Well, there were a lot of them.
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 22.
I move to approve resolution number R-14-2026, a resolution authorizing the addition of Jamie Murphy and Anna Taylor as authorized representatives and removing Alma Cartwright on the tax pool and tax pool claim accounts.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo? Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 23.
Move to approve. Go ahead.
Move to approve resolution R-15-2026, a resolution authorizing the designation of Jamie Murphy and Tana Taylor as authorized representatives and removing Alma Cartwright on the local government investment cooperative account.
Second.
Got a motion and a second?
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 24.
Move to approve resolution R-16-2026, a resolution authorizing the designation of Jamie Murphy and Tanya Taylor as authorized representatives and removing Alma Cartwright on the Texas class account effective May 22nd, 2026.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
That one did say the 22nd. And, okay, I did want that particular one to be on the 22nd because there are Navigation District Texas class accounts that I'm still dealing with. And so that one will be effective on the 22nd. But they can already, we can already go ahead and set them up like I'm going to do with the other ones. And so that is why I made that one on the 22nd. I needed another week because I'm the only one on the Navigation District's pool account.
They're meeting this morning.
Yes.
Is that one of the items on the agenda?
Yes,
Okay, great, thank you.
they're working on it.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 26.
I move to approve a resolution authorizing signatures on all bank accounts held by Aransas County Treasurer, including the electronic banking privilege with Prosperity Bank effective May the 22nd, 2026. Authorized signers to be Jamie Murphy, Jackie Cochran, and Tana Taylor.
Second.
Got a motion and a second?
There again, this is effective on the 22nd. I do not feel comfortable, and I should not give up my core duty until I'm actually gone. So that will, the bank can prepare the documents, and on that day, it will be switched. We'll have all the signature cards done at that point, and then it will become effective.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick? Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 26 now.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign a letter appointing Jamie Murphy as the responsible person authorized to sign and request juror pay reimbursements from the state effective May 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Got a motion and a second?
Did the letter get I had sent in a sample, so
It's in here.
the letter D.
Yeah.
And so this is important because it could amount to anywhere around $20,000 a quarter to get the juror payments back from the state. And it says in the statute that the treasurer is responsible for paying the jurors, and
Sounds good.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 27.
I move to approve authorizing the county treasurer to issue a letter of intent designating the county human resources director as administrator of the Corbridge Financial account.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
so for some reason I was still left on as admin of what used to be Valak is now Corbridge. And so HR has all of the rest of the admin duties, and this one should also go with HR.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. I guess that's it. Thank you, Alma. Thank you.
27.
Now let's continue to our regular scheduled program. Item number 1.
Okay, get back to that page. Move to approve proclamation P-04-2026, recognizing May 2026 as History Preservation Month.
I'll second that.
Okay, good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This is Proclamation P-04-2026. Whereas May is designated as History Preservation Month in Aransas County, a time to celebrate and recognize the importance of preserving our cultural heritage and historic sites. Whereas the preservation of our historic landmarks, architecture, and landscapes enriches our community, fosters a sense of identity, and connects us to our shared history. And whereas Aransas County is home to unique historical sites and structures that reflect our local culture and heritage, serving as valuable resources for education and tourism. And whereas their efforts of individuals, organizations, and local governments in preserving these sites contribute to the vitality and sustainability of our community. And whereas it is essential to promote awareness of the benefits of preservation, including economic revitalization, community engagement, and environmental sustainability. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners Court of Aransas County, do hereby proclaim the month of May as History Preservation Month in Aransas County. We encourage all residents to engage in preservation activities, support local preservation efforts, and celebrate the rich history of our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes.
Do you want to take a photo with the history people?
Oh, yeah.
Proclamation.
History people, you want to come up, take a photo? With the proclamation.
If I could get you to go this way. Yeah, I'm trying to get you in between Commissioner Castleline and Judge Garza. You're good where you're at. There we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
You go acknowledge the donation.
Oh, yes, yes. Is it right in front? Oh. I want to acknowledge a donation of $200 from Richard Martin to the Aransas County Animal Care Facility.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 4.
Move to approve the Texas Maritime Museum report for the first quarter of 2026.
I'll second that. Morning, Ashley.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Ashley.
Just want to start by apologizing for the confusion with that incorrect report getting sent in. The first thing you saw was definitely not what I meant to send. That's what I get for having two files with the similar names, but hopefully we've got that straightened out. And I'm going to go over the actual report and not our social media report that you received initially. All right, so this is for first quarter. For our overall attendance of registered museum visitors, we had 1,668. Then you'll see event attendance as well. It's quite high for the quarter at 1,430, in large part due to our winter lecture series, which is well-loved and well-attended. So we saw a good number there for our event attendance in the quarter. It brought our overall attendance for the quarter to 3,098 visitors. And of those registered visitors, we had 1,317 that stated they came from at least 75 miles outside of Rockport. That is 79% of our registered museum visitors coming from outside of 75 miles. So we were quite pleased with that number. For heads and beds, you can see that of those that stated they stayed overnight while they were here, the majority of them, over 300, said they stayed at least 4 nights. So we are seeing quite a few of the longer-term visitors that are coming into the museum while they're here in town. 2 nights was the next, which most likely is weekend visitors.
So on that graph, Ashley, I think you just explained it. The 4 nights, and as it extends out, that's about 325 nights. Is that what that means?
No, about 325 people stated they stayed at least 4
4
nights.
nights, okay.
So
Thank you.
significantly more nights than that.
Right, well over 1,000.
Yes. And then with those registered visitors, I like to do this breakdown for you guys of the major metro areas in Texas where we see visitors coming from. Houston is consistently our highest number on that. We had almost 11% of registered visitors that came out of Houston, which you see is more than our local visitors.
Yeah.
And then the other is always our highest. That's any other areas in Texas outside of those metro areas, as well as out of state. That's always high over the winter with the winter Texans here in town. So 62% on that other category. And just a quick look at our expenditures for the quarter, with the bulk of that going to historical preservation. We have got a lot in the works there with new exhibits and exhibit renovations. A lot of exciting things happening over the next couple of years, so keep an eye on that. And then just a quick look at our social media marketing. Some of the posts that did quite well this last quarter. The historic posts are always probably our most interacted with posts. And then we did have our advertisements for some new temporary exhibits coming through. That Tides of Freedom is still there. It has been moved to the second floor. So if you haven't seen that yet, I encourage you to stop by and take a look. It's a very cool exhibit they have up. Our follower count is a little over 29,000 right now on social media. We had 666,000 impressions with almost 31,000 interactions on our posts for the quarter. We have seen consistent growth on the social media marketing and engagement. Then our website had just under 20,000 views from 12,000 visitors. 50% of those are direct visitors, so they are going straight to our website. The other 50% are typically clicking through social media posts or email marketing to get to the website. I always like to include just a glimpse of what's been going on. We had the lecture series, of course, in this first quarter, as well as field trips coming through the museum. And our spring break camp is always a hit. That took place in March. And then upcoming events. I'm later than usual coming in, so most of these have happened, but that War and Peace exhibit is still on site and will be for the next few months if you haven't seen that. And then, of course, we have our patron party coming up on the 23rd. There are still some seats available. We would love to see you guys there. Feel free to reach out to the office if you have any questions or are interested in that. And then I'm sure you can see I changed up the look a bit here, trying to simplify and streamline our report a bit for you guys. However, please feel free to reach out to me if there's anything specific you're not seeing on this report that you want to see or anything you don't want to see on the report. I'm always happy to make adjustments so you guys are getting what you need from us. So.
And I would encourage everyone to see that War and Peace exhibit. It is fantastic.
It is.
The presentation that went with it, they had 3 professors from University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Yes.
Who came, and it was a really fascinating presentation.
Yeah, they're the ones who put that exhibit
Yeah.
together, so to get their insight on it was really cool.
Thank you,
All right,
Ashley.
thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 5.
Move to approve the Historical Commission's report for year-end 2025 and for the first quarter of 2026.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Morning,
Good
David.
morning.
Morning. We didn't have this, the numbers available for you prior to the meeting, so I'm providing some at this point. Hand out for you.
Thank you.
Does Colin have a copy of this? To post, okay. We can share. Or do you need one for yourself?
We'll share this one.
I did. I made 5 copies, but some of them. Before we get going here, I've given you our year-end financials for 2025. That's the first page. Your second page is our first quarter expenditures. And finally, I've presented to you our 2027 budget, which was supposed to be on today's agenda for approval. And somehow, I guess it didn't get on the agenda. You can look at this and maybe approve this at another meeting where you want to put it formally on the agenda. But this is our 2027 budget. So starting with our year end, we spent, the budget was $10,000, and we spent just about $10,500, so we ran over our budget by $5. And Doreen here is welcome to pay you the $5 if the county needs it, so.
We don't do deficit spending in this county.
So, I don't know if you have any questions. Obviously, the fourth quarter, there was expenditures. I think some of the bigger ones, there were some bookcases that were bought for the county courthouse here, as well as there was calendars that were done for the education outreach. And I guess the other is some markers that were done. So most of the expenditures occurred in the fourth quarter, so.
And the flags, it was actually the flags, the 250 flags.
Okay, 250 flags. The second one is our first, our budget for or what our expenditures are for the first quarter, and as you can see there, we have spent not a whole lot here, just some perfunctory things. I think, Doreen, do you have anything of our expenditures in first quarter to relate?
It's just administrative stuff, our
Good.
mail, our.
You gotta talk on the mic, Doreen. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, most of it's just administrative, our Past Perfect, our archiving software, the mailbox that we use, and then some things that we had to purchase for the glass case, like the stands and things like that. That's a one-time purchase, hopefully.
Yeah. And as I mentioned at the end, I did provide our 2027 budget. The categories are a little changed around a little bit just to reflect the way we've spent our money over the past year. And you'll see if you compare them category to category, you'll see that we've upped some expenditures and dropped some others. But still, we're looking at a $10,000 budget we hope you approve when you can.
Hey, if you can, am I on? If you can email that 27 budget to me, please, sir?
Absolutely.
And I emailed you on Friday about budget workshops that will start June 22nd, and that's when that will be presented.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll
Thank you.
email you the whole package.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for what y'all do. And just a little tidbit, in the judges hallway, we've got the historical photos that were in the other courthouse hung up, and they look really good. So if you have time, go check it out. Item number 6.
Move to approve a declaration of local disaster due to water shortage emergency conditions.
Second that?
All right, we got a motion and a second. And I put this on the agenda to, I guess, a lot of the area counties are doing the same thing. And I just want to make it clear that, the county has no statutory authority to provide water or sell water. And this is just in case those pipes run dry, we could initiate our disaster plan and get people water. Because at that point, it'll be a health issue, health and safety issue. Any questions?
Renee and I met with one of the water well drillers here, and, we had a conversation about deeper water, and he said that really nobody has ever made the effort to explore deeper than what people have wells. So maybe with a declaration like this, we might come up with some grant money to have somebody explore in the county looking for deeper
Sources,
water
yeah.
levels.
We'll see what's available, absolutely. But this also opens the door for funding, requests for funding,
Yeah.
grants, and working with the city. Brad's doing a tremendous, great job at keeping the city, they're going out for a bunch of ideas, and he keeps me informed of what they're doing, and I want to applaud him for the job he's doing.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 7.
Move to approve joint resolution JP-01-2026, a joint resolution of support for regional coordination and sustainable water management in response to the South Texas water supply.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. And again, this is a joint resolution that the other area counties are doing. And basically, it just sends a message to Austin, hey, we're all together, we're in this together, and we want to work together and send us money.
Yeah, I want to say in my precinct, I've gotten a lot of comments, more than I normally do, on this, that they're very concerned about their water wells going dry with the supposedly large draw from Corpus Christi. So this is a very good first start. So we at least got a plan or working on getting a plan in place. But that's a real problem out there. Most of these water wells are not that deep. And if they have what they call the cone of declination, which is the water that falls down into underground, it's like a big cone that goes to water wells. If you're pumping 500 gallons a day, that's not a big declination. If you're pumping 5 million gallons a day, it's a huge one. And I, for one, am very concerned about that. So I think this is a great start, because, we have to start with something. We can't just go out there and say this is a problem, we're against it, for it or whatever. But this is going to be an issue that's coming up that we're going to have to do more and more for.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 8.
I move to approve conceptual plan to subdivide 2290-A North Fulton Beach Road and develop the Sea Glass Landing subdivision.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second. Good morning, Kat.
Good morning. This conceptual plan is for a small subdivision for which the developer has already secured the capacity for water and wastewater from the city of Rockport. It'd be for 6 single-family lots, and we'll be working on a development agreement in order to accommodate the smaller lot sizes, which, because they have the public utilities, won't be any problem with the state laws. But the developer is here, and if y'all have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them and defer if I need to.
Well, in the description, Kat, in the part precinct 4, general location, when it gets down to the proposed legals description, it does say 4 residential lots, and I was curious about that because I thought it was 6.
It is 6. That was a mistake on my end. If you look at the concept plan right now,
Right.
2
I
of the
saw that
lots
there
were as
were.
blocks, and that was my mistake, but it is for 6. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so whatever documentation will be the official documentation will say 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 9.
Move to approve accepting a permanent 20-foot wide drainage easement from Mr. Kurt Requarth as depicted on attached exhibits, and authorize the county judge to execute necessary documents and direct that conveyance documents be recorded in the office of the Aransas County Clerk.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I just
Morning,
wanted
Darrell.
to thank Mr. Recorth to working with the county through this process. It took a little while, but we're very grateful for him working with us on it.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 10.
I move to approve rejection of all bids received in response to communication infrastructure project solicitation and authorize resolicitation of the project.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
Morning, sir. Back again. We had 2 bidders when we went out for the radio tower projects, but neither one of them met the requirements of GLO. They didn't think they were, didn't use the right form on one and then added stuff to another one. So recommendation is that rather than run the risk later of not getting funding after we complete it, that we push it back and ask them to rebid and be in compliance with what we send out.
It'll be the same bidders having the opportunity to,
It'll be an open deal to where anybody that wants to come, but we hope those 2 would at least resubmit.
So this is a whole opening of bidding again.
Yes, sir. It'll be the 4th time.
I thought this was at least the second
number
time
4.
we've canceled. Fourth time, okay. Well, hopefully they'll get it right this time, or someone will.
Somebody will, yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 11.
Move to approve the annual county clerk archive plan as required by local government code sections 118.011 dash F and 118.025.
Second.
Say.
We got a motion and a second. Good morning,
Morning.
Madam Clerk.
Good morning. Under the Local Government Code, or LGC 118.25, the Commissioners Court of a county may adopt records archive fees as posted and permitted. This is something that helps pay for the management and the restoration if needed, like we're in a big project now. And these funds go directly to that. They go to special funds, and that's all they can be used for. County clerks are authorized to collect fees to cover these costs and with no cost to the county. Fees generated from the county's adopted records archive fee of $10 and records management fee of $10 and a technology fee of $2 are used solely for the purpose. These fees are paying for that co-file preservation. They also pay for the Tyler Eagle program that we use for all of our land and deed records. Next is Local Government Code Section 118.011. The fee schedule is to not be more than $10 and $2. We adopted that in August of '21, and I highly recommend that we continue doing that. That's the maximum allowed. We are struggling to make the payments for the COFAL project. If we lower these, we will not be able to make those payments. Texas State Library and Archives Commissioner, TSLAC is what I call it, is what determines our retention schedule. I, by law, have to follow that retention schedule. It's 84 pages, so it's very defined about what I can and cannot do to those records. In that schedule, it talks about the destruction of local records. If we inadvertently or purposefully damage records, it can be a Class A misdemeanor for each record and can go up to a third-degree felony. I did an examination of all these records in March of '23, shortly after I took office. That's also the day that we found mold for the second time in that room. We determined what needed to be preserved, what is being preserved, and in future, what needs to be preserved, and those that do not physically need to be retained. We also identified Tyler Eagle, our cloud-based record management software, has greatly improved both public service at the county clerk's ability to safeguard the county's current documents, while also providing 24/7 public access to those county's deeds and other public records. We will keep all records until it can be verified that they are imaged and indexed. However, not all of our records are in Tyler Eagle, and with our lack of funds for large projects and more staff, our records will not be completely electronic in my lifetime. It's not possible. Also, at this time, we do not have access to most of our records. We will not have access to them until the fire suppression system is fixed in this courthouse. The clerk staff, and all of our records, when they're here, then we can start that process. The clerk's old court records are being housed at what we call the Al Johnson Building. And that building, and many of them have been kept beyond their retention date, mainly because we don't have easy access to them. When these are housed with us, we will start the scanning and shredding process according to that TSLAC retention schedule. I'm working with Renee Butler, our plant maintenance. Now that the district clerk's office has moved out of the building where I am housed, we're going to move all those court records into his old office so that we can go ahead and start that process for those court records. And they'll be much safer there as well. I am asking everyone on this court to go see that Al Johnson building. It has many of my records still. Hopefully by next week it won't. But some district clerk records, furniture, shelving that I'll be using in the new courthouse, and many other miscellaneous items. It smells of mildew, mold, dead cockroaches, spider webs, dead lizards, and other potential contaminants throughout the building. It is so bad, I refuse to let my staff go into that building. I don't want them getting sick. However, this week or next week, I am going to get my court records out of that office, and I'm very excited about that. This will be the first time since Hurricane Harvey that I will have all my court records in one location. But remember, until the fire suppression system is fixed, our historical land and deed, birth, marriage, assumed name, our livestock brands, DD-214s, and many other records will not be available to the county clerk's office or to the public. Recently, Doreen Bronner, chairperson for Aransas County Historical District, is working on a large project to help with the historical process here in town. I can't give her those records. They are not available. I located what I could through the Commissioners Court meetings, but most of it is just not here. They're being housed in Dallas. I don't have images of them. There's nothing I can do to get her those records. And again,
Christine, I believe what we're voting on here is your archive plan.
That's right.
And the fees.
But this is also records management, and this is a huge part of records management. When we are finally in the new courthouse and have our records at hand, we will be able to start the process of verifying electronic, then destruction of those records. These are very important tasks to accomplish in order to maintain space in the county clerk's record area. Additionally, doing so may eliminate future preservation costs for records that are not designated for permanent historical retention. Forgot to go on. Our deed records that we have available are in Tyler Eagle, probate, civil, and criminal records, which are all of our court records, are in Tyler Navigator. Aransas County Historical Records Image Index and Preservation Project with CoastFile was conceived by two prior county clerks. It was a very good project, and it's going to bring our records to a more modern standard of availability to the public. Once we finish that, we will still have 40 years of documents that need to be imaged and indexed into the appropriate systems, including some of our court records, some of the older ones. This is what we've spent to date on that CoFile project. To date, we have spent $2,249,191.55. We still have a remaining balance of $126,999.62. With everything that has been spent and is the projected cost to date, this project will come under budget of $1,077,140.85. Part of this is because I deleted some of the shelving that was going to be put into the new courthouse. I have decided to use some of our old shelving that's going to be in rooms that aren't seen, and they really won't fit in where the historical records are going to be out in the main area. And we still need that high-density rolling shelving that's going to be about $37,000 for us to fit in that office. At this time, that office does not meet those standards. In June of '22, I brought this up to the prior project manager. To date, we still don't have a plan that I'm aware of. I was told that that $6 million tax note was going to be part of getting that fixed. Local Government Code 203.003, duties of the Commissioners Court. The Commissioners Court of each county shall, number 1, county to enable elected officers to conform to the subtitle and rules. And down on number 4, facilitate the identification and protection of the essential records of the elective offices. That is why it's so important that we get this fire suppression system fixed. Texas Administrative Code 13, Part 1, permanent records shall be stored under conditions that meet requirements of the section. B, records shall be stored in a manner that complies with the following and offers protection from fire, water, steam, structural collapse, unauthorized access, theft, and other similar hazards, and does not expose records to direct sunlight. We have compromised, this was when Pam was still the district clerk, to go to a dry pipe system instead of trying to go to that chemical system. It does two things. It protects them from water unless that room reaches a high temperature because it's going to have a dry bulb system, heat bulb system. I would like a deeper discussion about the options to get us into the courthouse sooner rather than later, to help our public by being in one location and having our records available, and by saving a minimum of $154,120 a year in rents and storage costs. This amount does not include utilities and maintenance costs that we incur.
Misty, excuse me. I have received a text from our legal counsel saying that we are far afield from the agenda item that we are here to vote on. So I would ask for you to cease and for us to vote on the agenda item, which is to approve the annual county clerk archive plan as required by local government code sections 118.011F and 118.025.
That I beg that this court continue to keep our archive, records management, and technology fees at $2. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Misty. Any comments? All right.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 12.
Move to approve Resolution R-08-2026, authorizing the county judge to execute rental agreements and oversee the daily administration of the community center and Celebration Plaza, including the adoption of the reservation policy, facility use agreement, rental rate schedule, days of operation, and the facility rental checklist.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. All right.
Commissioner Cheney?
Got a question first. Has our attorney seen these, or are you agreeable with these conditions for the Celebration Plaza?
I think at last meeting, we discussed revisiting these. Commissioner Russo very kindly volunteered to help assist in the draft and making sure that it is in compliance with both GLO requirements and what the county's looking for.
Okay. So do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would say probably hundreds of hours of research and work have gone in on this policy. Mostly, thank you to Dana Justice and a little due to me. And I believe this is very equitable and that it is very imperative that we get this passed because to date, we have the county actually paying to host any activity that goes on at the community center so that we are more than $100,000 in arrears for what we have hosted over there. Now, I know the Smithsonian exhibit was something for the general community, and that was a good thing, but there have been parties, reunions, all sorts of receptions, and I don't think that the Aransas County taxpayers want us to fund those parties. This is a very reasonable fee schedule. We have streamlined it, cleared out which days and which hours are available, eliminated different rates based on how many hours. Now it's just one rate per hour, as many hours as you have it, and we have allowed discounts across the board for first responders, government, nonprofit, military. And this is comparable to other, like governments, Fulton, Victoria, and we are a little less than them, but we are not trying to compete with them. All we are trying to do is cover the county's costs for using that facility or for the grounds. So I encourage you to approve this today. Thank you.
So are we gonna look at this each year just for adjustment? I mean, is there a timeline in it?
The court's welcome to.
Okay. Good
It
deal.
can be reviewed from time to time, sure.
Or
Good deal.
we see a
I appreciate-
problem, we could bring it to the court. Yeah,
Kind of like other policies.
yeah.
And I appreciate Commissioner Russo spending the time on this.
I appreciate Dana's research. And Marcia, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 13.
Move to approve authorizing county judge to sign the General Land Office Contract Amendment Number 9 for the CDBG-DR Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery, contract number 20-065-098-C270. This will provide an extension of time only to July 31st, 2026 for this grant.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
And this is the community.
Yes, this is actually the extension so that we can finish the community building. We had asked for October. GLO was very adamant about us finishing it, so they gave us until July to finish this project. And this is what the amendment is. There's no dollars, it's just time.
And I saw Elle here earlier. Is she?
I saw L two. She's not here
No?
now.
Okay.
Come and go.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 14.
Move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Healthcare Report for April 2026.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning, Sarita.
Morning. We are in the 8th month of our fiscal year, and this month, we paid quite a bit, $74,202.23. I will say that I've had several inpatients that I listed on the detail for you guys. We're about 22.93% of our 8% of the GRTL. So we're still doing really good, and you can expect next month to be kind of high again on the hospitalizations.
I saw we had one person in for 18 days and one person for 11. So,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. I've had some very, very sick residents, and I still have some continuing now that have been very, very ill.
But like you said, we're 66% of the way through the fiscal year with the state.
Yep.
And we're only at 38% of even the 4% match. So,
Yes, ma'am.
well done.
All right, do you have any questions?
No.
All right,
Thank you, Ms. Sarita.
thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Item number 28.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign 2026 Catapult Health Addendum with Catapult Health for on-site screenings during the annual Aransas County Employee Health Fair. Good morning.
Good morning. This
Morning,
is the
Ms. Becker.
same contract that we've done the past few years. I would like to commend our employees that participated last year. We had 100% participation. And so that's the only reason we didn't have to pay anything, thank goodness.
And I think that your office follows up to make sure they
Yes, we do.
yeah, that's a good thing.
Definitely. Send them reminders.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Item number 29.
Move to approve accounts payroll, payroll liabilities.
I'll second that.
Yes, Commissioners, you have two lists as usual. One of them is some miscellaneous checks and things that had to be paid in between times. The rest of it is the regular accounts payable and payroll. There's nothing of significance this time. There's nothing with grants or anything that needs to be reported. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Miss Jackie?
Yes, I'm excited to let y'all know that I'm going to have a new boss. Governor Abbott appointed Boyd Bauer. He will become the district judge for 156th District on June 1st.
Sweet.
Yay.
Yeah.
So how many bosses will you have now?
3.
Three.
Same amount, just different faces.
That's right, that's right.
One different face.
Anybody else?
I have one.
Oh, yes.
I have agreed to, and with Zach's help, agreed to do the County District Clerks Association of Texas Region 8 Conference here in October. And we are going to be using the community building, and hopefully everything goes well. We should have about 80 visitors.
What was the name of that conference
It's
then again?
CDCAT, County District Clerks Association of Texas, and it's Region 8.
County District Clerks. And about 80? 90?
About 80 people.
Good, thank you.
Daryl?
Hello, Commissioners, Judge. I'd like to happily announce my new road superintendent at Road and Bridge is Kevin Ince. Kevin's been with the county 13 years in different roles. Most recently, he was the crew chief. He's very familiar with the county, and we're looking forward to great things from Kevin.
Perfect. Welcome, Kevin.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Commissioners, you got anything?
I just wanted to propose, this is something maybe for future, but I saw a message come through on our county judge commissioner line about looking at an increase of the 911 service fee, because a lot of other counties are looking at that since we've been required to upgrade, but we're not given the permission yet to increase that. So that might be something for us to look at possibly on another agenda.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
The only thing I have is, I know we got a lot of rain. The burn ban is still in effect. It expires on the 18th. I kind of was thinking about canceling, but I'm not going to. Our KDBI, the drought index number, is not changed. All that rain we got, and it hasn't risen, but it hasn't dropped at all. The other counties around us, for some reason, their numbers are going down, which, they're not in burn bans, but it makes me nervous because we're going to get a lot of wind here. And anyway, we're going to let it expire on the 18th. And Mike.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you all for the ones of you that did come to the Hurricane Conference this year. I know all of you have been there at one point or another, but it was a really good conference. We had a really good turnout. Commissioner Cheney rode with me over there one day.
That was an experience.
Yeah. I do a lot of this while I'm driving. But anyway, thank you for coming. It was a really good turnout. The Coastal Bend Emergency Management Association, of which I'm a member, puts that on by themselves with just pure volunteers. And so that's why we're able to keep the cost to go to the conference pretty cheap. So I'd encourage any department head to send somebody, a key member from their department to the hurricane conference every year if they can. TDM conference is coming up at the end of the month. Again, that's a good conference to go to. I think, I've seen Jackie attended.
Two people, actually have two employees that are.
Who's going?
Tish and Eric.
Okay, great. Oh, good. I'm fixing to meet with Eric. Also wanted to mention that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the community center next door, we're going to have a coffee and discussion with the emergency management coordinator. I'm going to do a little slideshow and then take questions from the audience, and I'll have coffee and donuts in there. You're all welcome to attend. It's just a short walk if you're already here, so look forward to seeing y'all over there.
It's open to the
Thank you,
public.
Mike.
Open to the public.
Open to the public.
All the public
Yeah,
is
yeah.
invited. Please show up.
Not just y'all.
I saw you guys, I was like, no, it's public.
This was my first hurricane conference that I have attended for lots of different reasons, but this is something that each commissioner and like has been stated, that you really need to, if you're department head or key people in a department, that's, if you gotta go one conference, that's a good one to go to, because it's amazing how much they covered and how appropriate it was. Retired guys don't have to go to it, but
I've been to plenty of them.
I know you have. But anyway, it was really a good conference, and it opened my eyes in a lot of areas, and it was something, it was time well spent. And we had a lot of people there, 10, 15 additional folks besides, and Aransas County was referenced a lot on the way to do things. And I was appreciative of that, and thank you, Mike, for the help.
All right. At this time, we hear reports about items of community interest coming up. Yes, ma'am. Miss Iris, come on up.
Good morning,
Morning,
Commissioners and
Iris.
Judge.
Morning.
I'm here about the summer program that we're going to be having starting June 1st at the library. It's called Unearth a Story. So it will be based on dinosaurs, unearthing dinosaur bones and learning about dinosaurs. We'll start June 1st, and we'll have programming throughout June and July. We have calendars already set up. We have flyers. And the kids can start picking up a book log starting June 1st. So,
One more thing on June 1st.
yes, ma'am.
All right.
So,
Thank you, Miss Iris.
Thank you.
Thank you. Closed session? Yes. You have a motion to go into executive session?
I move that we go into executive session regarding agenda item or section or sections of the Open Meetings Act authorizing executive session will be publicly announced in accordance with the authority of Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.073, 551.074, 551.075, 551.076, 551.086, 551.087, 551.089. The Commissioners Court will hold an executive session to consult with attorney, including outside legal counsel on matters related to litigation, and deliberate regarding real property, contract negotiations, prospective gifts, personnel matters, county advisory bodies, security devices and deployments, competitive utility matters, economic development negotiations, including incentives and/or security audits or network vulnerability assessments. Upon completion of the executive session, the Commissioners Court may in open session take such action as appropriate on items discussed. Number 30 is consult with counsel pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071 regarding contemplated and pending litigation related to construction contracts for the downtown Anchor project, including evaluation of the county's legal rights, remedies, and obligations under such contracts. 31, consult with counsel pursuant to Section 551.071 regarding legal issues and attorney-client matters related to the county's participation in TERS Number 1 and the proposed interlocal agreement.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye. All right, we'll take a 10-minute break.
And then, are we still having the workshop after that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
To come back into open session?
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, motion passes. We're back in open session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you. I'll give this to Tracy.
Miss Tracy. I think it's all good.
Okay.
All right. And now,
Okay.
thank y'all for being here again. All right, it is the 11th day of May, or Colin, do you need to do anything as far as, okay. It's the 11th day of May, 2026, and this is immediately following the Commissioners Court that was just held here at the County Courthouse located at 308 North Live Oak, Rockport, Texas, 78382, and I call this workshop to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney?
Here.
Commissioner Casterline?
Here.
Commissioner Russo?
Here.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Here.
Judge Garza?
Here. All right, we've got a quorum, and item number 1 is a presentation by the Railroad Commission of Texas to inform the county on how they are regulating the underground injection controls UIC Class 6 program in the state. Mr. Rob Castillo. He is the Special Injunction Permits Unit Manager. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, just want to say thanks again, Judge Garza and Commissioner Court, for having us here today. I know y'all have had a busy morning, but I'm here today to talk about, okay, this is fancy. I'm here today to talk about the Railroad Commission's Class 6 program regarding carbon sequestration, how we're regulating that program, because currently we do have a application out in Aransas County, which is why we're here. And so it is our responsibility to engage the public and educate regarding how we are going to continue to take what the EPA has started and continue that at the state level with the Railroad Commission. And so we're here to answer any questions you may have about the Class 6 program and how we're regulating that. This is our goal, to be transparent, and this is how we're going to take this program forward. And so, once again, I appreciate y'all having us here.
When you say carbon, is that the carbon capture?
So it's not, we're not regulating the carbon capture part of it, but this is the actual injection part of it. Okay. So storing it deep in the earth. Okay. So this is the storage part of it. That's a good question. And so, just like the slide says, the purpose is to educate the public about the Class 6 program, okay? And so feel free to stop me at any point.
So are they storing like oil or?
This is strictly CO2.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we have other wells, like a Class 2 well, which is in the UIC program, that's injection dispose, produce water. Y'all have heard of the produced water that comes up as a part of production.
Right.
That's re-injected back into the ground. But this is solely CO2. And I'll talk about the differences in our Class 2 and Class 6 here in a second, because there is some differences. So appreciate y'all letting me be here. Just a little bit about me. I'm the manager of the SIP group, and I have about 7 employees, Suzanne back there, who keeps me organized and makes sure I make all the meetings I'm supposed to be here. But we have about 4 engineers who do the permit review. So I have 3 programs: the Class 6 geologic storage of CO2, the Class 5 geothermals, and the Class 3 brine mines. And so the brine mines, we have some of those down here on the Gulf Coast, and all these salt domes y'all have. So those are the 3 programs we have, but the newest program is this Class 6. So you all know the Railroad Commission is ran by 3 elected officials. Our agency mission is that we're here to serve the people of the state of Texas by our stewardship of the natural resources and the public safety, and supporting economic vitality of the state of Texas. We're led by Chairman Jim Wright. Christy Craddock is our next commissioner, and Commissioner Wayne Christian. We are the oldest state agency in the state of Texas, although we don't regulate railroads, which is very confusing, and I'll talk about that here in the next slide, but we used to. So that leads me into a great kind of segue, what's under the commission's jurisdiction. Oil and gas is our biggest division at the agency. And if you want to get any type of permit for anything related to oil and gas, you're going to have to come to the Railroad Commission. Critical infrastructure was a division that was set up quickly after the Winter Storm Uri to ensure weatherization of the supply chain. We've got a pipeline safety group who handles all the intrastate pipelines, making sure they're inspected. Alternative fuels, surface mining for all the lignite and coal regulations, and of course, we've got gas services. What's not under our jurisdiction, roads and traffic, that's going to be handled by TxDOT. Noise, odors, and lighting could be local or TCEQ. Air quality, TCEQ. Mineral interest, railroads, TxDOT again, and property damages. So how do we serve you by our UIC program? Well, the main thing, like I said, and it ties to our stewardship of the natural resources, is our regulations ensure the groundwater is going to be protected. And how do we do that? Well, we're ensuring the proper processing of our Chapter 5 rules. And by doing that, the whole goal is to ensure that the fluids that these operators are planning to inject remains confined to their permitted interval. And by doing so, we're kind of ensuring that no fluids are going to migrate upwards into the underground source of drinking water, which is protected by this Class 6 program. And so we're going to enforce our rules. So just because an operator receives a permit from the commission, that doesn't necessarily mean they're done with us. So I have a whole R&M team who's going to handle what are the next steps once they receive the permit. And for the Class 6 specifically, it's a list of requirements. Their testing and monitoring plan is quite thorough. The majority of it requires continuous monitoring of the CO2 plume as they're continuing to inject. And so there's other testing requirements. And a lot of these operators are drilling monitor wells to also test the groundwater to ensure no CO2 has been encroaching on those protected depths. And I'll talk about what groundwater we're actually protecting here in a second. We're also here to, of course, provide information and answer questions and provide opportunities for public participation. And so anytime, and I got to praise my staff for this, is we handle our open records requests quickly. And I'm sure just like y'all may have those too, open records. We handle those phone calls. 24 hours is the turnaround for a voicemail on the SIP team. And so they've done a great job of reaching the public and it's very new. And so a lot of people have a lot of questions. And so we thought these county presentations were very helpful. We received a lot of positive feedback from other judges and commissioners. And so public participation is a big part of what we're trying to engage here.
So can you tell us, I know they store oil in salt domes. The CO2, what is going to contain it? What kind of structure or?
So it's all basically it comes into the site characterization that's picked by these operators, and so they're picking porous, depleted, non-productive reservoirs that basically just accept this CO2. In overlying that permeable strata is a impermeable strata that caps it and prevents it from migrating upward. So they're picking these areas, and sometimes they're using.
Is it like old oil, dry wells, or?
Mostly no, these are actually, a lot of the ones we've seen have been new drills, but they're in depleted areas because the main goal here, and it's in our statute, is these Class 6 facilities are not allowed to interfere with production. And we've had that issue come up for Class 2 where operators will start injecting produced water, and then a producer over here comes and opens their tank battery, and then there's produced brine in there. They go, well, that's not what I wanted. And so, these operators are carefully selecting these sites deeper than the productive reservoirs and not even an unproductive reservoir.
So is it CO2, is it a gas, or is it liquid?
It's actually injected in a supercritical state, so kind of in between. But once it gets in there, it's in a gaseous phase, yeah.
Yeah, it can be solid, liquid, or gas.
Yeah.
Same temperature.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll show us exactly how you're going to do this in this presentation, right?
How they're going to inject it.
Give us information that'll answer some of these questions.
I should have a couple slides that may have some diagrams. Yeah. The Class 6 regulation history, the main thing I just wanted to say here was this was all started by the EPA. They launched the Safe Drinking Water Act, created the UIC program, and then it wasn't until 2010 until the EPA created the Class 6 rules at the federal level. We've had primacy of Class 2 since the 80s, and it wasn't until about 2009-10 where we actually kind of built framework for Class 6. We actually finally submitted our application, so we had to go to the EPA and say, we want to be the main primary authority, and that's primacy, meaning we want to handle everything for this. And so we put our application in 2022, and we just received primacy in December of this past year. So it took 3 years for our primacy application to get approved by the EPA. But we do now have primary enforcement authority, meaning we're making the decisions, we're regulating it, and we're monitoring compliance, and we're issuing permits. And we do, EPA still, just like our Class 2, still maintains oversight, so we've got quarterly, semi-annual reports that we still fund.
Why are we storing CO2?
Um,
Is it tertiary recovery or what?
So that's an option. So, operators, and that's great that you say that because operators have been injecting CO2 in the ground for decades before enhanced oil recovery. The purpose of the Class 6 project is mostly to reduce CO2 emissions. There is a 45Q tax credit incentive for the operators for how much metric tons of CO2 they pull out of the air and inject. So that is a main also driving force. But also reducing CO2 emissions does reduce other emissions as well. And the way the operators are picking these locations, a lot of them we're seeing here on the Gulf Coast, and I'll kind of talk about why, and it's mostly because of the source of the CO2. And I finally got a slide that actually says what is a Class 6 well. I know we worked all the way there, but it's a well used for the injection of CO2 into deep underground rock formations for permanent geologic storage, what we call geologic sequestration. And just like I said, a key benefit of the Class 6 well is the safe and permanent storage and removal of CO2 from the atmosphere. And so if you look at the graphic there, you can see a industrial facility that's most likely extracting CO2 from a gas processing process. It'll pipe that CO2 down to one of these Class 6 wells. You can see the USDW up there at the top, base of underground source of drinking water. And if you look at all those interbedded shales and sandstones and limes, typically these operators are injecting where there's sufficient confinement, which would be those shale layers, those dark gray. Those are just barriers to keep the fluids down where they're supposed to be.
So did you say that there's an application in this vicinity that is,
Correct. There is one in offshore state waters.
how far offshore are you?
I'll have to check. Yeah, I'll check and I'll get back with you on that. But the one thing that's unique about this when operators, and you're going to hear me be a parrot and then talk about protection of the USDW, when you're out in offshore state waters, there actually is no USDW. And that's just how, if you look at the groundwater table and all of it, everything kind of pinches and tapers off before you get out there. So there's no actually USDW out there. However, our rule does say you're not allowed to contaminate the protected groundwaters and state waters, surface waters. So that means the bay, the water, that's out there. And so we're doing the exact same criteria for these applications that, hey, we've had this come up to us. Hey, there's no USDW out here. We go, well, you still can't contaminate the surface waters out there. And so they go, oh, that's true. And so we're working with the operator through this application and how they need to delineate their area of review. This is a silly slide that I feel like I have to have, but I have to. What is CO2? Well, it's just carbon dioxide. It's colorless, odorless, non-flammable gas that naturally occurs in our atmosphere. We're all putting out CO2 right now, me mostly right now because I'm doing all the talking. It comes from burning of fossil fuels. Also, volcanoes emit massive amounts of CO2. But one thing that is unique about CO2 is it displaces oxygen. So if you're in a confined space and there's a CO2 leak, it pushes oxygen out, and so it makes it very hard to breathe, okay? And so that's one thing that's unique about CO2. We had a question a second ago about where is this all coming from, and so in the state of Texas, the main sources of this is going to be industrial facilities, petrochemical plants, oil refineries, cement plants. All these energy production plants all separate out CO2 as a process. And so now what they're going to be able to do, instead of either venting it or flaring it out into the atmosphere, they're going to be able to inject that CO2 safely deep underground. We do have these DAC units, as we call them. They're direct air capture. There's only one that I know of that's being built out in Ector County in West Texas. And so that is basically just a large fan that's sucking in ambient air, running it through some solvents and amines and separating the CO2 out, piping it and injecting it. But we do anticipate more DAC units to come online. But right now, the main source for all this CO2 is going to be industrial facilities, which is why we have a lot on the Gulf Coast, right? We do have one out in Northeast Texas and a few out in the Permian. But a lot are going to be out here.
So these plants or wherever we're gonna do it, they have a system that pulls the CO2 out of the air, they inject it, and they get paid for doing that by getting a tax credit?
So they extract the CO2 and then they pipe it to somebody who has a Class 6 permit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these times, some of these operators don't have their own Class 6 facility. And in fact, we only have one permitted Class 6 facility right now in the state of Texas, and it's not even operational yet. We just granted that permit in October of this past year. But yes, they'll sell it to an operator who has a Class 6 permit, and then they'll inject it.
Yeah. The El Paso hydrocarbons plant in Odessa, did it to send over out of their third stage recovery. My throat's messing up, but
it's okay.
A third stage recovery to the AmeriGas plant over there.
Mm-hmm.
And the AmeriGas plant compressed it 18,000 to 1
Mhm.
down to a liquid.
Mhm.
And for the interesting thing about CO2 is it can exist as a vapor or liquid or
Yeah.
a gas in the same temperature at the same pressure.
Yeah.
And so whenever it vents out, it can be stored in small areas like oil fields,
Mhm.
and it can be vented out and it goes into gas. Once it goes into gas, you got to recapture it
Correct.
and bring it back to liquid, or you can't pump it.
Correct.
So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I used to run that plant.
Yeah, and it really
AmeriGas
is,
plant.
and that's why a lot of the CO2 pipelines are high-pressured systems, because in order for them to transport them, they have to operate between 1,200 to 2,200 PSI.
That's right.
Which is high.
Yep.
And I'll talk about that here in a second. That's a great point. I had this slide on here just to mainly show the difference and to let you know that CO2 is not new going into the ground. It's been going in for enhanced oil recovery for quite some time. And actually, we do have some CO2 disposal wells where the intent is not for recovery, but it's actually just for disposal. And the purpose there is, the difference between that and us is going to be volumes. And I think I talk about that here on the next stage. So what is unique about CO2 storage? Well, obviously, CO2's high subsurface mobility. It's buoyancy compared to water, which is why the site characterization is critical, because CO2 is wanting to move and get out and find the area of least resistance. And so that's why these operators are picking areas with no USDW, so, no groundwater and, contamination, but also in areas that have enough geologic confinement. And so that's why a lot of the operators are picking older to deeper depleted areas that have enough confinement to ensure that CO2 is going to be there. Corrosivity, in the presence of water. So if we've all had a soda water or a seltzer water, and you drink it and there's that little kind of tang or bite to it, that's actually carbonic acid you're tasting. And so the same thing happens. And so when you inject water and it comes into contact with CO2. And so what we're concerned there about that is, enough corrosion, enough of this carbonic ash that could react with some of the metals in the casing requirements. And so the EPA and the state of Texas have adopted the rules that say these operators are required to construct the wells with higher grade alloy metals that are meant to withstand CO2 for 30, 40, 50, 60 years life of the project. And so the cost difference between a normal injection well and our Class 6 well is substantial because they're using these higher grade alloy metals because of that whole, I don't know if necessarily the concern of the actual carbonic acid. It's more of when that carbonic acid can leach some of the metal minerals. That's minerals we don't want moving outward. And so operators are required to meet the well construction requirements that are put out by the EPA and put out by the state of Texas. And so that's one thing that we address in our Chapter 5. And of course, our large volumes. I told you CO2 injecting in a disposal well, 25,000 MCF a day compared to our storage facilities, we're putting metric tons per day going into the ground. So it's really is volume.
You mentioned lifespan of the injection sites. At some point in time when they fulfill their lifespan, are they plugged?
Correct. And so our whole plugging injection site closure plan, or PISC, we try to say that carefully because it may sound like we're cursing, but it's PISC, is a requirement set out in Chapter 5. And so the main goal there is, they've got to shut things down safely. And the main thing is also they've got to ensure that the CO2 plume has stabilized and that it's not continuing to move. And the associated pressure front has stabilized as well. Once they've done that, then they're going to start plugging the wells, even the monitor wells and everything, removing surface equipment. And they're not allowed to leave the facility until we give them hey, you've satisfied all your requirements. Okay. USDW, that's what the Class 6 program protects, anything less than 10,000 TDS. If I put a cup of 10,000 TDS USDW up here, y'all would not want to drink it. So, but it's protected, and so that's all that matters. BUQW is anything less than 3,000. That's what the Class 2 program goes for. And so our program focuses on USDW, and so that is what we're going to protect. I wanted to quickly talk about the life cycle of these permits because it's all very new. And so typically we receive notice of the project by operator meeting. We'll receive the application via mail or email. And then, we have permitting timeline requirements. We have been working in conjunction with the EPA since 2022, 2023. And we have two agencies working on applications together. We couldn't push a permit out before the EPA did. And so we were kind of working in tandem with them. But now that we have primacy, we're hoping to meet our permitting requirements, which is typically around 180 days. That is ambitious because the program is still very new, and operators and both us, we're still working out, hey, we need more from y'all. And so operators are taking their time, and we're allowing them now because it's new, and also because the application fee is $50,000 for these wells, which is a drop in the bucket for a lot of these operators. But a Class 2 application is $200. And so we would just hate to be returning applications for them failing to respond to our request for information, even though it's probably nothing. But we'll review the permit and we'll issue a permit. But before I can actually issue a permit, the Chapter 5 requires me that I have to do a public notice. So I will be back here in Rockport whenever the permit is ready. And I will have to have a public comment meeting, meaning I will come, and my duty is to not really Q&A with the public. Mostly I'm here to accept comments on the project, either for or against. We'll have a court reporter, we'll have it all, reporting system. If there is enough public interest from interested persons in against it, then it's at the discretion of the director whether we can approve or deny it. If we do receive a protest, and I wanted to kind of say this now, only affected persons can protest. And if you remember, I'll show you on the slide, you saw like an area of review. I think it's on the next one. If you're in that area of review or if you're touching it adjacently, you're an affected person. And that's built so that just, somebody who out in Alaska can't say, hey, I'm protesting this application here in Texas. But they would be an interested person. And like I said, interested persons, if there's enough public interest against an application, then it would be up to the director to make that call. And so I'll come back, I'll do a public comment meeting, and we'll be open for 30 days. I won't be here for 30 days, but I'll be here for a day at least, accepting comments. Once we receive comments, let's say no protests, then I'll issue a permit where operators are required to do a list of pre-injection requirements before I issue an authority to inject letter. Once they get that letter from me, then they can start injecting, okay? And typically these programs, it varies in program length. Some operators just do 12 years because 12 years is how long the 45Q tax credit incentive is good for once you start injecting. Some operators are doing 50 to 60 years. So it really just depends on the operator. And then, of course, once they're ready to shut it down, they've got to get the post-injection site closure done. This is an example of the area of review, and I just wanted to go through this really quickly because these are all the technical components of our review. It all starts with site characterization, and I'll go into that here in a second. Well construction, which we've already talked about, right? Operators are required to use higher grade alloys to build these wells because they're going to be in contact with the CO2 injectate stream. Area of review and corrective action. So operators are required to model for at least the first 5 years of injection what the CO2 plume is going to look like. And so once they start injecting, using the reservoir characteristics, how is the CO2 going to migrate in the subsurface, right? Okay, where is it going to go? Okay, and so associated with that is a pressure front kind of wave. So depending whether the reservoir is overpressured or underpressured, the pressure front can either actually be smaller than the plume or it can be larger. And so it really just depends. Regardless, they have to delineate an area review of the CO2 plume and the pressure. Okay, and so that's an example of what an area review would look like. So everybody within that, operators are going to them, acquiring mineral pore space agreements. Anyone who touches it adjacently on the outside, operators are going to do the same thing as well. Those are all would be affected persons, people inside the area of review. And so area review is actually one of the most, the biggest parts of the actual review. I've got a PhD who just started this past December, who actually has a background in CCS. And so he's just been doing a great job at really breaking down the reviews of these area review because operators are required to give us everything, how they did this model, all the parameters and all that. And he's been very good at kind of seeing through all that. Testing and monitoring plan, how are they going to test the weld? How are they going to indirectly monitor the plume? That's their job because they're supposed to see, okay, is the CO2 plume going somewhere that we didn't anticipate? If it is, then we need to reevaluate and adjust our area review. Emergency response and remedial action plan. What are operators going to do when there's a potential groundwater contamination, potential leak, CO2 release? How are they going to handle that? And I'll talk about that here in a second. We've already talked about the facility closure plan that they have to have. And of course, financial insurance. Financial assurance means that these operators have the funds to run these facilities. They've got a letter of credit or surety that's backed. So if any of them go belly up, the Railroad Commission can pull on these bonds to cover us to shut these facilities down. That way the burden's not all on the Railroad Commission. So that financial assurance has been critical. And it's typically the last part of the review. Site characterization, like I said, it's just mostly the operators pick these locations strategically with enough geologic confinement. They use well logs, nearby wells. They run their own wire lines. Main goal, like I said, is protecting the USTW Can the injection zone handle the injection? Can the confining zone keep the confining injectate to where it's supposed to be? Is there enough? Another one is faults. Are there faults in the area that could be potentially conduits for the CO2 to migrate upwards? Or are they ceiling faults that don't penetrate the USDW? And then, of course, seismic history. Are they faults that can potentially create earthquakes? So these are all things that are in the site characterization. This is a good little photo of a core. And if you look on the right, you can see the top confining zone, the cap rock, and then you can see the porous sand below it. And in between there, those little black stringers, that's actually the trapped CO2. So this is what it's actually going to look like whenever you start injecting CO2 into the subsurface. So I thought that was a pretty cool photo. All right, I'm almost there, I promise. Emergency response plans in place. Okay. The goal is for operators to respond quickly to any events that could pose danger. This is an exact copy from our Chapter 5 rule. Operators are required to give us actions to be taken to address the escape of fluids from the permitted zone. Okay, that's the main thing. They have to have this safety plan. The safety plan is supposed to include any emergency response procedures, provisions to provide security, okay, CO2 release detection, instructions in how they're going to alert the public, how they're going to alert first responders for setting up a perimeter. The main thing I want you all to know is that the burden is always going to be on the operator to resolve this issue. They may need help when it comes to setting up perimeters, getting people in and out of areas, but it's up to them to develop a coordinated plan. They should be working with you all and your first responders and at the city level to say, hey, how are we going to notify the public in the event of a potential groundwater contamination or a CO2 release from a pipeline? The burden will always be on them. Provisions for how they're going to brief the public and how they're going to notify the public, and of course, how they're going to monitor any type of induced seismicity, which we typically don't see too much of down here on the Gulf Coast with all the shallow geology, but it's required per their emergency response plan. And of course, how they're training all their employees and how those employees are suitable to work at those facilities. We've already talked about the post-injection site closure plan, and I'm not going to go into that again. It's just saying these operators are required to meet a set group of requirements before they can shut down. You got to show us that plume has stabilized and your pressure front is no longer pushing outward. Okay, that's the main thing.
You know, I had, I guess, concern. I know there's a big push in Texas. There are a lot of abandoned oil wells from years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So when they prepare these site studies and everything, I guess looking for old abandoned wells that need to be plugged, that involves part of that?
That is a great question, and I should have covered that in area review because it's actually area of review / corrective action.
Okay.
And so should they determine there's any legacy orphan wells within the area review, it is the operator's burden to go and plug those wells.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Sorry. Lastly, real quick, pipeline safety. All of our inspectors, because these are all going to be transported via CO2 pipelines, just wanted to say all of our inspectors are PHMSA certified. PHMSA's done a great job of working with the agency to get our inspectors trained up. They're all totally capable of inspecting liquid CO2 and gaseous CO2 lines. CO2 is typically, like I said earlier, transported between 1,200 to 2,200 PSI, which is high. We got about 5,100 miles in the U.S., so there's a lot of CO2 lines out there. You drive over some probably every day. Carbon pipelines can be harder to observe because of how high pressure the systems are and because CO2 just wants to escape and flee and get out. Obviously with the issue of CO2 displacing oxygen, that is the big concern there. And so that is why our inspectors are constantly running cycles of keeping these CO2 pipelines on a schedule to ensure that they're meeting all the state requirements and federal requirements for some of those interstate lines. Public participation, the main thing I want to say here is that, yes, the public can always be involved by reaching out to us if you've got any questions. We're encouraged the public to comment during the public comment period, whether for or against. We're there to accept all comments on behalf of the proposed projects. Obviously, if there's a protest, then I cannot administratively approve it. If we receive a protest, I basically just send it to the hearings division. Once it's there, they will hold a pre-hearing in which the administrative law judge will determine if anybody has standing from the protest list. And if there is one person or any person who's determined to have standing, then a hearings trial will happen. It's an administrative law process. So currently I have 2 Class 6 applications in hearings right now. Okay.
Class 6 permits or applications for Aransas County or just for
Just
your area?
for the state of Texas.
Okay.
Correct. I've only got 1 application in Aransas County right now.
One of the things about CO2 is it doesn't act like petroleum. It doesn't, whenever it flashes to the surface, it doesn't catch fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the ultimate fire reducer because it takes all the oxygen away.
Yep.
What it will do is it'll kill livestock in the area if it's close enough and if it's enough. And if it's doing it very much, it's going to form dry ice. And it's
Yeah.
going to self-sealing.
Yeah.
And it'll eventually vaporize off.
Yeah.
But CO2 is probably the safest thing that you can put anywhere.
Mhm.
I mean, whenever I run the plant, I walk through the gas all the time. And you can't stay in it because the oxygen is depleted.
Yeah.
It's like, they told me that it was like flying at 10,000 to 15,000
Yeah,
feet.
it's hard to breathe.
As far as the oxygen gets to where it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
But CO2, the only problem I have with it, just as a comment of what you said, is that there's not much that'll hold it. I
Yeah.
mean, that 2,200 pounds of pressure holds it in a solid state until it can get pumped down or changed to the gas.
Mhm.
But once it's down there, any kind of fault, it'll go right to it and it'll form a huge.
Yeah. Potential conduit upwards, correct, yeah.
So, and the steel pipe that it's used for has to be, we always used, I think it was 3/8 thick polycarbon
Yeah.
pipe, and
Yeah.
it had to be welded together. It
Yeah.
couldn't be
Threaded.
flanged or anything.
Yeah, or anything, yeah.
It has to be welded together
Mhm.
and pressurized at 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's very safe.
Yeah.
But if it blows out, it'll be blowing out for a while.
Yeah,
until
that high surface mobility, it
Yeah.
just wants to leave.
And it really doesn't go anywhere. I mean, just,
Yeah.
because once it flashes and goes to ice, then it just comes off as atmospheric pressure,
Mhm.
allows it to come up. It's not like it's gonna blow a hole in
Yeah.
the mantle of the earth.
Yeah, and I think also many people think it's also flammable, which it's not.
Not flammable.
And actually chokes out oxygen, and some people use it to put out fires in that
It
form, yeah.
has a pressure issue, but only as it flashes.
Correct.
But once it turns to dry ice, then it still has a pressure issue, but you have to contain it for it to pressure
Yeah.
up. Otherwise, it just goes straight in the atmosphere. Only thing it does is kill some vegetation around you.
Correct.
But it will kill vegetation.
Yes, true.
Are
And
we in District 4 as I look at this map?
I believe so.
Okay.
Let me go to that slide. Yeah, I think so. Oh, no, we got you in the wrong district.
Are we in District 2?
You're in Aransas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it should be 2. I'm sorry. That should be 2. I'll send out an updated list of the contact information.
Okay. So we are in District 2.
Yes.
All righty.
And I think that's it. And so all I wanted to say is the program's designed to protect the USTW. The agency is here to enforce our rules, which is Chapter 5. Anytime any of you have questions regarding anything, I'm going to leave my card here for y'all. Feel free to reach out to us. But just know that, underground injection control is something the agency has been doing for decades. Our UIC program, our oil and gas program in the state of Texas we hate bragging, but it's probably the best in the nation, if we're going to be honest. we know how to regulate this program. We feel comfortable doing it, or else we wouldn't have applied to receive primacy for it. So with that being said, any more questions? Thank you again for having me.
When do you think you're making your determination on that current application? You said you're going to come down and do a public meeting or
I
something?
will. That's hard. Probably not soon.
Okay.
We're still working with the operator. They're actually one of the last operators to submit an application. I don't think we received anything from them until this past November, so probably a little while, a few months at least. Yeah, it won't be soon, I'll tell you that. I've got other applications I need to get out.
Did I misunderstand, or did you say that would be in the, out in the bay or out in the water?
Yes, out in state waters, yes, correct. And I'll figure out more of a better location. And what's difficult with these operators is sometimes they submit these as CBI, confidential business. But locations and stuff like that, our goal of the agency is to be as transparent as possible. So anything we can release, we will. So if you reach out and say, hey, Rob, I want to see this application, I'll give it to you. It'll have to be, if it's sent in CBI, I'll give you it, and it'll be a little redacted with any proprietary information they may not want to share, but we will give you that application.
Thank you.
Yeah. One other good thing about being in the water is that if it does escape, it'll go to carbonic acid. And
Yeah.
C2O2.
Yes.
And it'll just dissipate.
Yeah.
You know, you may have a cone of incident where, you know, it happens,
Mhm.
but that's going to be very short-lived.
Yeah.
I don't care how big a reserve you put in it, it's going to go to dry ice whenever it loses the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's going to go to dry ice, and it's going to vaporize off slowly. A lot of pressure, but as long as it's not restricted once it turns to dry ice, you know, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So-
Not a bad deal.
Move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Got a motion?
Who
Second.
seconded? I said.
See that
Commissioner
little
Cheney?
arrowhead point there? Yeah.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, we're adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all very much.
Thanks for
Y'all,
your patience.
appreciate it, y'all.